Welcome to the Open House Podcast where women talk real estate. I'm Steph Douglas.
And I'm Kristina Moderis.
How's it going? Good morning.
Morning. It's good. Last night was so cute.
I know. Summer movies. It's so fun. Now and then just gives you so many feelings.
I know. It was so good. If you guys haven't seen Now and Then. So this theme. So every week, Steph and Alan host a movie night. And there's a theme. Always a theme. Alan's very into movies. And this theme of this month is, what is it?
Summer movies.
Yeah.
And we did Dazed and Confused, Now and Then, Wet Hot American Summer, and then what was the one before? Oh, Thelma and Louise.
Oh, Thelma and Louise. I had never seen it. It was so good.
So good. Piece of history. Brad Pitt's breakout role.
Did you see that?
Levy agrees. Is she digging for a spot?
Hear that?
Oh, her haircut is so funny.
It's so funny.
I love it.
Like so bad, but it's so cute.
Oh my god.
Yes, Thelma and Louise is very cute. I loved that movie.
Summer movies. Summer is just so fun in my mind, and yet we're all melting away, and people are dying. Like the heat is so bad here. We're in a heat wave in Austin.
It's really bad.
It's tough. Is your AC good?
AC is great. It was
okay.
So yeah, we had like 1 million people in my house last night for our women investor meetup, and it was like staying at 77 degrees, and I was like, what's happening? But I think it was just I hadn't lowered the temperature until like 4 p.m. and it was just hottest time of the day.
Yes.
It was just not, and then people got into our house and it was hot. It was so
but
hot.
I didn't notice it like when people were in there. So hopefully I definitely tend to like it a little warmer, but what a turnout. It was really good. There was at one point there was a line outside
my house,
outside your house.
My neighbors were probably like, what is going on over there?
Like just 50 people filtering through. It's very, very good turnout and like well attended and really, really good engagement.
Yeah, we did a tour of my sneaky duplex in my homestead house, and it was so I did like a little presentation of all the costs and what we earn, pros and cons. So it was fun. It was
great.
Everyone was, I feel like, into it. They want to make sneaky duplexes. So if you came out, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, seriously. And there's definitely, I think we just did a sneaky duplex episode. So in our podcast page, just search sneaky duplex, and I'm sure something will come up.
Oh yeah. I guess we can quickly talk about the definition of it. It's essentially a form of house hacking. So house hacking is when you buy a house, you live in it, and you're trying to supplement your mortgage, whether that's through renting out rooms or you have a tiny house in your backyard that you rent out, or one strategy that we actually coined the term sneaky duplex is when you section off a part of your house so guests don't come into your home, and you rent that out.
Yep. And we coined the term sneaky duplex. And we need to get it trademarked or whatever that means, because people are starting to use it, which is like, good. It's imitation is a form of flattery and abundance mindset. But it was us. So yeah, I love that people were interested in that. I think it's such a good way, a good ethical way to supplement your costs and expenses every month. So follow along. We'll continue to talk about them. Anyway, so yeah, sneaky duplexes are amazing, and our women investor meetup, or our women investor community in general, has been really, really fun lately, and just a lot of different types of people on different wavelengths, as far as like, not wavelengths. I guess what I mean is like different parts of the journey. Like they're different experience levels, different places, where there's people that have never bought a house before. And then there's people that have bought 5. I'm always shocked by people who they don't know what we do. So I guess that's on us. Yes.
I was talking to someone, and she said that she was like, oh my gosh, I was inspired. I saw your sneaky duplex TikTok, and it inspired me to buy a new build. And I bought in Cherrywood, and I have a sneaky duplex now. And I was like, oh my gosh, congratulations. And I was like, which agent of ours did you work with? And she was like, I didn't know you were a brokerage. And so I worked with someone else, but now I do want to buy more property. And like, I'll send my friends to you guys. And I was like, it's, all good. That's probably on us.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's so we are a real estate brokerage. All of our agents are investors, and we, specialize in this. And you want, if you're listening to us and you live in Austin and you want to buy here, it really is in your benefit to work with us, because you will get all these additional resources once you are a homeowner. For
Yeah.
example, we have a homeowner Facebook group. We're always posting really helpful things in there. People are always asking for advice, giving advice. And it's, I also our list of contractors, someone was asking like, how do we get access to that? And that's in the Facebook group as well. And if you don't have Facebook, it doesn't matter. We still like send out emails. We have our community meetup.
Yeah. And that community meetup is just, I was just thinking about this last night, because there were a couple people that came and they said, I wanted to ask you a couple questions, like specifically about my situation.
Yes.
And I was like, of course, like I would love to talk to you. And, we've done this a lot. We know quite a bit. And so being able to drop into a in-person event and get your questions answered, you're paying a lot of money for that and for the form of consulting elsewhere. And all you have to do is join our community, buy a house with us, and you have access to our entire team and our entire team's vast knowledge and experience. So it doesn't happen with anyone else when you're buying houses.
Right. And technically, like, so when you buy a house, you do not pay as a buyer. You're not paying for that. So it's a free resource for you. And we have so much to offer. We have so much free things already before you even like jump into the process. And then our realtors are so skilled in what they're doing. They're so knowledgeable, and they I don't know any other realtor who knows what a sneaky duplex is, who knows all these creative strategies that is also incorporated into the way that they're helping you buy your property.
And another thing, we also help people just straight up buy. We have people who are buying luxury. We have people, Sydney has a listing right now that's listed for 1.2. Like she and all the other agents know luxury as well. So they just have a very vast range of knowledge. So we help people at all price ranges and creativity, spectrums. You can be on one end or the other.
Right. Yeah. It's typically like we have a creative outlook on real estate. So like even this girl who just bought her sneaky duplex, I'm sure she bought at a high price point, but she wanted to she had lived like probably at I'll use my situation.
Yeah.
Where I was living in like a smaller home, older home, living that for a few years as I was like gaining equity on my house, investing, and then used, income from property to buy another house, and also supplemented my mortgage through a sneaky duplex. So like, and that house, like I went over, I was very transparent. I'm going to post the presentation in our Women Investor Facebook group. But I was very transparent with the numbers. Like, this is how much I paid. Like, this was like $1 million property, essentially $6,000 mortgage. And this is how much I pay now. Which was really way more affordable than you might think. So
yeah, totally. And the person that I talked to, I'm not sure she's going to do sneaky duplex, but she bought a house a couple of years ago. She didn't know about us yet. And she's like ready for an upgrade. She's like, I don't want to sell it though, because we have such a low interest rate. And I was like, yes, we're here for this. And so basically what me and Sid and Jen were all talking about is she would book a call, and then your agent would pull comps for rental, pull comps for sale to see like what is the best route, and then help you figure out like how to pull equity from your house or use the proceeds from the sale to upgrade and have more space.
Oh, I remember talking to her. I think she wanted to talk to you about HELOC too.
Yes. We talked about HELOC because we've, all of us have done different things, but like we all together combined, we have a lot of basically like a comprehensive experience. So I have a HELOC out right now.
And honestly, the best way for us to get paid, like we don't get paid, like we give so much free information. We have this podcast is free, our YouTube channel, all of our blog posts, we have all these events, like they're all free for you. The only way we are getting income is, when someone is buying or selling. and you're not directly paying us when you're buying a house. Should we get into that? Or I guess we have so much information on how that works.
Yeah. We don't need to get into it now, but if you have questions about that, please reach out.
Yeah. But like, that is the best way to pay us, essentially. Pay our ladies for all this support that we do offer. And also, like, if you're not, you know, like you live somewhere else, or you're not in that space right now to buy, send us your friends, come to our events. Like, we love like chatting with you still. And you know, even a review goes a long way. Like,
totally review an event even. We do have a lot of people who are like, I didn't know about you yet, but I send all of my friends your videos and everything. And so that really, really, it goes a long way.
It really does. Yeah. And thank you everyone who supports us so much. And it's really exciting last night to see the group that we've created over the years after like Steph and I would try to go to meetups like way before we started our company, and they were just so weird and awkward.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really, really bad. We wanted to create something better, and we did. And you know, it's taken a bit, and now I think we have somewhere like 500 people in our our women investor group on Facebook, and you know, anywhere from 30 to 50 people come to our events. So yeah, it's great.
And as we jump into the topic, I wanted to mention our next event. Our next Woman Investor event will be August 19th at our retreat house, and we're going to have a pool party. So think the vibes are swim, hang out. Also, let's chat about like partnerships, because me, Steph, and another friend bought this retreat house. And it brings us in a lot of income, and it also is kind of, it's not always booked where we can just go down there randomly whenever we want. It's like 30 minutes from Austin proper. And it's just like such a lovely space. And today we're going to kind of get into the story of that, the ups, the downs, the cost, all of that. But hopefully you guys listen to this podcast and then come on August 19th and actually see it in person.
Yes. I'm so excited for that event. I mean, pool, margaritas, and talking about real estate. That's like 3 of my top things.
Yeah.
So should we get into the retreat house?
Yeah, let's do it. You want to kick us off on how this all started?
Yes. Okay. So we started our business in 2019, June, and then we hired 2 agents in early March of 2020. And as we all know, 2 weeks later, the entire world shut down, and we weren't able to have in-person meetings like we have now. We meet, we see each other multiple times a week. We have like a standing meeting. We're office, all of it. And
that's what we promised them, right?
Yes.
We promised them, like, we're very like hands-on. We're in person. We love community.
Yes. It was really awful. And we also had an event space. You know, it was just like all of these things that kind of came crashing down when COVID happened. And so we would have these, you know, social distance retreats at Airbnbs because we didn't have a full space, and we would make sure, you know, obviously everybody was tested and all of that before we did it. But we were at one with the leadership team, and we were like, we should just have one of these for our team. Like, how cool would it be to have a spot for our whole entire team to go whenever we needed a retreat or whenever we needed, you know, some time, goal setting, all of that.
Because it was pricey, right? We were like going up there to these places, and we were going on a couple retreats a quarter or something like that, and it was adding up quickly.
It was, because when you're going out into the hill country, which is where we were and where our retreat house is, it's quite pricey because a lot of people it's kind of high demand. And then we wanted a pool, you know, we wanted it to be really nice, and so we were spending a lot of money, and we are really into buying things, as you all know. And so it is kind of painful to like let go of money when you know that you could have something on your own. So we started looking that day when we were at that retreat. We went to see the house the next day, maybe that day even. And it was
I think we went to go look at it
On the way.
prior on the way
That's
to our
right.
retreat,
That's
and then
right.
we were like getting so excited about it, and then we were like, should we make an offer? Should we see if we can get approved?
That's so funny.
And we literally thought, like, I think you were like on the phone with the lender we work with often,
Yeah.
and she was so nice. She was just like, okay, I'll try to get you this pre-approval.
Yes. Okay, because it was the time in the market when everybody was looking and
Yeah.
everyone was kind of stir crazy, and especially looking in the hill country because they wanted a little getaway. They didn't want to be in their apartments or whatever. So it was listed at 375, and it's half acre, a really cool house with beautiful views, new windows. And so obviously it was getting a lot of attention, and they were like, okay, we're accepting offers. Deadline is today at 5. And we were like, ah. And so sweet, our lender was just like very, very accommodating, and we were kind of rushing her. And anyway,
Shout out to Melanie.
yeah, seriously. Thank you, Melanie. She's always creative. Like, she always gets it. Like, a lot of lenders would be like, we can't, like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get you a pre-approval today. You just called me for the first time today. So we got pre-approved. It was actually in my name only, I believe. And we bought it as a second home, and we ended up spending $475. And so that's obviously $100,000 over asking, almost 25%, almost 25% of the original list price, which is kind of standard in that time, not standard anymore.
Yeah.
And then
It was wild then, though, right?
Yes.
This was like the very beginning of the craze.
Yes.
So I was shocked. I was like, we were like, do we go up that high? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. And it was in March 2021. So any of you listening who bought during that time, we feel you. We've bought during all the times. But we bought it and we were like, well, maybe we'll do like a light renovation. and then we ended up doing a major renovation and adding a pool, because we knew it was going to be a space for us to come, and then a space that we were going to short-term rent. And pools are just a big pull for people like that. So yeah, we want to kick us off with our renovation costs.
Yeah, actually, I should have pulled that up before. I know it's in our spreadsheet, but so I guess I'll talk about the things that we did. It was paint, full on paint. We redid a lot of the kitchen. Honestly, looking back, I think me and Steph were like, I wish we had fully gutted it, like, completely. I think if you're gonna go into a renovation and do like a big, like, I think we spent like how much, like 100,
Yeah, like 125 or something.
125. We should have just like gotten new cabinets, but we got new countertops, we painted, we refurbished the floors, and then got new floors on part of the house, and then refurbished part of the floors, which honestly, we should have probably just redone all the floors. That's probably my bad. And then,
well, I think we were kind of trying to cut costs a little bit. Like, when you're in the middle of it and you're trying to stick to a budget, like a whole new kitchen full of cabinets, it was like going to be quite a lot. But now in the grand scheme of things, we're like, ugh, they kind of look bad now.
Yeah. If you're going, especially if it's going to be Airbnb'd, I don't know. I don't think it was like that big of a deal, but I know that like now we're looking back like, we should have maybe just redone the kitchen completely, because, things will start to fall apart if there's wear and tear by people just continuously coming and going and coming.
The good thing is, though, I just actually thought of this. It wouldn't be that hard to replace, like we just save the countertops and just do it in the exact same way. And then we could also redo the floors if we wanted, like put floors on top of it. So
we can totally do that. And we saved probably like $10,000.
Yeah. 10, 15K probably.
Yeah.
So we could be a phase situation. Like, it's not too late. You can always go back.
Right. And then we painted the whole exterior of the house. It was like a burnt orange color, and now it's like a mossy green.
So pretty.
And then I'm like, what else did we do? We completely gutted one of the bathrooms, and then added a bigger window. We added a bigger window in the bathroom, and then in the other bathroom we added a much bigger window as well. Bringing in, so our whole house has a lot of light, a lot of natural light. There's it's like, actually we've been posting a lot about the retreat house on TikTok recently, and there's like a little channel saved so you can go watch everything if you want to see it in person, real life. But there's trees all around. It's so beautiful. So like a 360 view of just like trees.
Yeah. It's a tree house.
Yeah.
You'd actually be so surprised at how much impact adding a window makes. Like, even if it's
Yes.
not that big, it's like, it's just bringing in that natural light is so important. And even if it's in a bathroom, like one of them's super high up, so it's not a privacy issue. And the other one, we just did that like privacy film. And I think it looks really like chic.
Yes, it really does. And it was only on half. The privacy film is on half the window. So
Right.
half you can like kind of just see trees and the other
Yeah.
half is just like a little foggy.
Yeah.
So it's all so beautiful. And we were like, we want this to be, you know, a very relaxing, luxurious space for people and us when we come do our retreats.
Yeah.
And then how much did the pool cost? 85,000.
Yeah.
So I think when we decided, when we were buying this, we were with an employee and now she's doing her own event company stuff, but she was a friend and an employee at our company, and she was like, I have some cash, I could get in on this. And we were like, cool, okay, so let's do it. So we created an operating agreement, and we're all, what is that,
33.3333%
percent
owners.
owners.
Yeah.
So split 3 ways. We each brought in the same amount of cash. Have an operating agreement. Always get an operating agreement with a partnership. It's super easy. You can get a pre-made like a form, a template. But I would suggest talking, especially if it's your first time, I would talk to a lawyer, and they can like help you kind of come up with an agreement. You know, if this happens, what are you gonna do? If this happens, what are you gonna do? So it's nice.
Yeah.
And we all kind of split up roles of what everyone was doing. I think one of us was doing pool management. One of us was doing like design. One of us was like managing the contractors.
Yeah.
We do have well water. That has been a new experience. So new things for us, well water
Yeah.
and propane tanks. Because out there, everyone has propane tanks to heat their house. So it's not natural gas.
Right.
So that was a new experience. I think we got a bigger tank.
Yeah, we did. Well, because the only thing on propane was the stove. So it was like you didn't need very much at all. You know, that's very, very minimal propane use. And now we have a giant pool with a pool heater and, which should never be used, and a hot tub with a hot tub heater. So
yes,
we bought, that was a pretty big expense. And it's actually a pretty big expense to get it refilled. But it should only need to be refilled like, you know, every quarter maximum.
Is it $750 or something like that?
Yeah. Actually, that's kind of a lot for every quarter. It shouldn't be. Maybe it's like once or twice a year.
It probably depends on the time of year as well.
Yeah. And whether you're heating your whole pool or not.
Right. Which we'll get into.
Yes.
Okay. So how long have we been Airbnb-ing it now? I guess we
okay. I have timeline. So
Amazing.
we purchased it in April 2021. And then it took us about a year to renovate and the pool to be done. And so we started Airbnb-ing it in May of 2022, and the pool was not done yet. Mm-hmm. So we just told everyone, you know, like, it's okay, but don't go near the pool.
That did take a long time. What were we doing? It was the contractor. Oh, it was during a time of crazy contractors.
Yes, the contractor situation was really rough. I think that was right May 2022. It could have been a little earlier.
Yeah, I was like, that seems like a long time.
Hold on, I
thought it was like 7 or 8 months, but
I can tell you right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wait,
11 months.
okay,
because we bought it in April.
Huh.
Maybe
Wait.
10. Let's say 10 months.
No, we can say 11 months. It was
Okay.
If it's 11 months, that's fine. It took us 11 months to renovate this property.
Yeah.
I guess. Oh, I don't know. That I know it does seem like a long time, but I do remember the pool situation was actually way crazier than we thought, because what was that group? I was trying to explain it.
LCRA.
Like, the LCRA was like
the Lower
headache.
Colorado River Authority, which sounds like fake. And
like they're on horses, like
yeah.
riding up. Like.
So they were pretty picky about where we put the pool, and there was just a lot of like hoops to jump through so that we could get the pool even started. So again, pool is a headache, but worth it in my mind, because it does draw a lot of Airbnb guests. So we bought in April, finished it completely, and had it rented by March, which still, when you're thinking about a whole entire renovation and a pool construction and then furnishing, Yeah, no, I bet the renovation was done. I bet probably in January,
Yeah.
and then we had to
We
like
were
make
just
sure that,
waiting.
yeah.
And we
So
put grass in because there was like
yes,
dirt everywhere. We just didn't want to start off, yeah, with bad reviews because of all that.
yeah. So we decided when we put it onto Airbnb, we decided since it's 40 minutes ish away, 30, 40 minutes, that we would hire a management company, and that it just basically is because we didn't want to have to go out there all the time, which, is a consideration for people. And I feel like, I don't know, that's been kind of the source of our stress because we kind of just forgot about it because we have a management
Yes.
company. And now we're like, you have to keep up a property
Wait, so how long has it been on Airbnb? Because
since March of 2022.
March. Okay,
Yeah.
so
So over a year.
over a year it's been on Airbnb. And at first we had a little bit more control because I had the listing on my profile,
Yes.
and I felt like that was getting it did feel like, wait, we saw everything. Like we
Yeah.
saw all the messages. I feel like Celeste was like getting in there and being like, oh no, like getting stressed out, and then I would get stressed out, and then you get stressed out. Like we were all seeing
Yeah.
too much. So it's like you either have to, like, if you take control, it makes sense. If like you do not have a property manager, you would typically, we would all divide up roles, so then we would feel less stressed because we know what everyone's doing. But in this case, we were just seeing things come in, and then if no one was responding, we were like, wait, should they respond? What are we doing? So it's like too much to see it if you're not in full control. So we gave the listing to our property manager fully, like it's under their profile.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of, life got in the way. We were hiring people. We were, in our business. We were in life, and we kind of, I hadn't gone up there in a while. And I remember I went up there with some friends, just for, I was like, oh, let's go watch a movie, whatever. And I get there and I was so embarrassed. Like there was gum underneath the countertop. It was dirty, and I was like, I was like, so like things were broken, like, and I was like, wait a second, what is going on? Like and I started to look. I was like, I hadn't even looked at our listing in a long time, and I looked at it, and like the reviews were okay, but it wasn't like this kind of representation of us, right? Like it's our business.
Yeah.
We like to share the story and say, we bought this as friends, and like this is our retreat house, and we will give it away to our community sometimes in a raffle. So I was like, wait, what is happening? And
Yeah.
the water was very sulfury. So in well water, if you do not have all your systems up to date, so you're like water softener, what else? I don't know what else is down there. Salt.
I mean, yeah.
There's
So
like
yeah,
salt tank.
Yeah, like the filter, you need to add salt and bleach sometimes, which is wild, to the filter so that it works properly. I don't know how that science works at all, but it really does help. It's not, we have drinking water up there now so that people don't have to drink it because it's not that good, but it's not toxic. It just smells a little bit from time to time, and the salt helps it to not smell.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of things to manage at that house, and I think we did not communicate with our manager like who is doing what here, because
Right.
I think when you think of a property manager, you kind of think it's very hands off, and you're like, okay, they're handling it, and if anything goes on, like I guess they'll just let me know. And that was not what was happening. I think there was assumptions that like, we were co-managed, or like I think, what typically do people think of when they think of management? It's all handled, but what in reality for short-term rentals, what is actually handled?
So that's like, I think it's manager to manager, but I think that the biggest thing is like being on the same page about what is managed and what isn't, because like we definitely were not. And I think that there's definitely something, or there's something to, I mean, obviously clarity, but I think no one's going to care for your property like you are, like no matter what. Like no matter what, how stellar your property management is, it just, they don't care about it as much, and they have a lot on their plate, and like, I don't know. So they've definitely taken a lot off of our plate as far as like managing and going out there, and but we realized that we needed to have better communication and go up there every now and again and give them feedback and make sure that they're using the right linens and all of that.
Yes. So I think like after I went up there with some friends, this is probably like winter 2021. I think I again kind of was just like told them about it. They were like, okay, we'll fix these things. And it worked. And then I don't think I went out there for a while. And then we decided recently to have a team pool day. Because we were like, oh my gosh, we have this property. We need to like, use this more, really bring it back into our community. And this was on us. Like we really had just kind of forgotten it. And that was our issue. So we planned this cute pool day. And we had been talking about it for like 3 weeks. And, we get there and immediately me and Steph are like in stressed out mode.
Yes.
Like the couch, there's like a huge hole in the couch. And we were like, wait, what is happening with this couch? There's like a door is like still missing. It was like a door in one of the rooms was missing handles for the bathroom. So you like couldn't really lock the bathroom door.
Close it. Yeah.
But the worst thing was we get to the pool and the pool is 103 degrees.
Literally the whole
It's
entire
a hot
pool.
tub.
And the pool is not small. It's not like a dipping
No.
pool. It's like a large pool. It's so much water.
And I love a hot tub. I love a warm pool.
Love.
I could not get in it.
No.
It was 98 degrees that day. No cloud in the sky. It was burning up hot and the pool was hot. And we were like,
so bad.
Our poor team and like our employee Gracie had like planned this whole thing. She had like gotten everything out. The grass was long. The grass was like, we had brought lawn games to like play. And we were like, oh my God, not only is this pool hot, the only umbrella by the pool is broken. So we can't even like go under the shade and like put our feet in. Even putting our feet in, I was like, it's like, I'll dip it in, take it out. It was like so burning up hot. It was a disaster.
It was so bad.
And I was like, oh my gosh, are people paying money to do this? Like, this is crazy. I feel so embarrassed that this is our house. And I called up Eric and he brought our lawnmower because like the lawn guy, I was like, we have a lawn service that comes.
Yeah.
And I had called up the lawn service and they were like, oh, well, you guys got a new gate. So we just couldn't figure out how to get our new lawnmower there. And I was like, what? Like,
It's ridiculous.
so you just don't come? So Eric's like mowing the lawn. Then I'm like, well, it's too hot to even play lawn games. He also brought like 10 bags of ice,
Yeah.
which did nothing. There's like a picture of Steph just like holding a bag of ice, sitting halfway in the hot tub.
It was so bad, you guys. It was so bad. And I mean, our team was very sweet about it, but like the whole point of having this property was like, we're going out there. It's great to have something for our team. And then it was just like a major disaster. So during that time, we kind of took notes on what we needed to do to make it like a more luxurious experience for our guests and for us when we go out there. Because like when you're somewhere and the beds are creaky and there's stuff that doesn't work, it's not a fun experience. You're stressed out.
No, it's like the most annoying thing. And like, yeah, the bed's creaking. So me and Steph stayed there that night. And I remember you being like, Alan, we cannot, like, do not move when you're in this bed. And I was like, wait, why? And she's like, every time we're in this bed creaks. I was like, wait, the bed shouldn't creak. So Alan just like, okay,
yeah,
I'll just sleep like this. I'm so scared. He like ended up sleeping on the couch.
Yes. I know, like that's not it. That is not it.
No. So what are other things that we were like, I'm looking at our, there's just like, there were scuff marks on like every single wall, like 10 of them.
I came home back to my house and I was like, man, I'm like, if there's so many scuff marks on those walls, I have to have scuff marks on my walls, and I don't. Like, why are there so many scuff marks on those walls?
Yeah, what are people doing?
Yeah.
And then like the downstairs area. So things that I think we did not communicate with our property manager, like a short term. I think for me, it's short-term property management is, as we've discussed, it is not a fun job. I would never want to do that job. Like, I feel like no one's ever happy because it's just a lot. Like, I think if you just really, you need to communicate. They're really managing messages, right? Like, I feel like they're managing the client messages a lot. And it is the property as well. Like, obviously, I do think some of the things were their fault. Some of them were our fault. Like, I do not think it was like only on them. But they're like, I think communicating like, okay, downstairs, they probably aren't even thinking about that. Like, so what I'm saying is like under our house is on stilts, and under the house we have like a ping pong table and like string lights, and it's supposed to, and there's like seating, a grill, like so you can kind of play games and like look over the pool a little bit. That was like kind of disheveled, like the
every time
the ping pong paddles were all like busted. So we were just like, okay, that's communicating that can we add like a charge for you or more for you guys to go down there and like look at that. Even like cleaning up trash around the pool, which I know they do. So communicating these things. I also think like we've decided after that like just for now, as things are getting back into place, we're going to go there like once a month and just check on it.
And I think we hired this management company that's largely in the city, so they don't have to worry about stuff like this. They don't have many properties with
water,
pools. They're
propane.
They're just not used to this, and so my advice probably to people who want to do this in or near their cities, or in the hill country or wherever you are, hire a company that is used to doing property or managing properties like the one that you have.
Yes, so true. We did not do that. All their properties were urban, and ours is not. So that's such a good point of like they're not used to managing a property like that.
Right.
So some other things that so Steph and I made a list of like 30 things, and we were like, okay, we're just gonna go there for 3 days and just like knock this stuff out. So also like our linens, we had like actual linen sheets, and they were all gone. There's like two like switched out with other linens, and we were like, where are these linens? And like replacing stained towels and all that kind of stuff, that again, like I think we just have to communicate saying like, hey, if we need more sheets, like just let us know and we'll order more. We also decided we had like 10 people were allowed at the property. We were like, let's cut it down to 8 people. We don't need that many people staying in our property. We talked about like raising the number of days people can stay, so it's less turnover. So instead of like a 3-day minimum, we might do a 4-day minimum.
The process of like staining things or ruining things or whatever, like I think that this is something that the management company should have been doing, but if that happens, there should be an inventory taken, and the guests that were responsible should be charged, and I think that's a system that just needs to be implemented, because we spent like $3,000 in it upfront on linens and towels because we wanted them to feel luxury, and we wanted them to be the ones we wanted. And when they get ruined, and if you ruin something at an Airbnb, you expect to pay for it. Like 100%, if I ruin a towel, I'm happy to pay for it.
Right. Right. Yeah. I think I did some laundry, and it was like 10 towels were just, I was like, what did this person do? It looked like they had dyed their hair and just used 10 towels to like wipe it off.
Yeah.
And I was like, how long have these, I think it was from the last guest, but yeah, I was like, okay, those are trash now. Like no one wants to use a stained towel.
Yeah.
And other things we want to start implementing, like quarterly, or like checking in on our water softener, and making sure there's one person who's in charge of the water treatment. Also, like I would highly recommend, if you do have a short-term rental, to do this at least twice a year. Have a company come out and deep clean your carpets and your couches. And also like once a quarter, taking the cushions off of your couch pillows and stuff and washing them because they get gross.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah. So we have 3 owners, like we said, and our plan is from now on to go up there. Each of us goes once a quarter, which would be like a visit from an owner once a month, which is like forcing us to enjoy the property more. Like we're going up there and we're really like spending the weekend, inviting a friend or two. And then when you go up there, we created a checklist. So like some of the things we did were like super fast.
Yes.
Like I tightened the friggin' beds that Alan and I fight over, and it took me like literally 10 minutes to do all of them.
And the doors were squeaky. We just like WD-40'd
Yes.
them. I'm like, what? Like
What?
this is
It takes
we
1
got done
second.
quick.
Yeah.
We came home
thought
a
it was
day
gonna-
early.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be 3 days, and then we ended up coming back after 2 because we got everything finished. It was amazing. And like there was, I mean, stuff that took us a little bit longer. Obviously, we cleaned out a storage unit that we had just like a bunch of trash in, and we had someone come pick up the couch that was literally had holes in it.
My God. Yes, the couch was honestly the biggest transformation. So when I think that was, we just like bought this couch like sight unseen. It was like $400 when we first got it, and it was huge.
Yeah.
It took up so much of the space in the living room, and we also have a big dining table. So getting rid of that, like no one even, like we put it on Facebook Market for free, and 2 people came and rejected it.
Yes, we couldn't even get rid of it.
Like one lady came and was just like, I could tell by her face immediately. And we were like, we told you. We said
Yeah.
we said it was bad. Like, what were you expecting?
We like sent a video, and still, but the back of it, like the frame of it was basically like crumbling. There's
Yeah.
whole, it was, you could see like the plywood that they used to make the frame of the couch. Like it was really bad. It was extremely comfortable, and it did its duty, but
RIP, actually I hated
Yeah.
that couch, but so like what we finally used, if you guys have never heard of Runner City, it started off as a Facebook group during COVID, and I used to get on there all the time, but now it's a website and it's amazing. You literally just like type out what you need. So it could be like, I need help in my garden, or I need trash taken away, or I need help moving furniture. And you just type like, I think within, they said it where it's like, if no one responds within 3 hours, we take your request down. That probably means you're not paying enough. So it's really good. I think it really helps the runner. It's like runner, like more support for the runner, because I think sometimes they can get screwed over.
yeah.
But it's really awesome. We use that for someone to pick up the new couch, to remove this couch, and take trash from downstairs. And it was so nice. I think it's to me, it's cheaper than TaskRabbit.
Yeah, I think so too.
And faster.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
People are on there really
Super
quick.
nice. Yeah. And I think with us, like there's a barrier to like, oh, we need to get a new couch. Like, what are we going to do? But like going up there, and that could be another strategy that you add to your list of things to do, is just planning a 3-day all owners, like once or twice a year, to just go up there and check things off the list. Because there's going to
Yeah.
be wear and tear. Like it's just the reality of owning a property.
Yeah. And I think really communicating with your property manager. And yeah, I think just knowing what your responsibility is versus theirs. I think that you should need to be very clear about that.
Yes.
Like, what are you paying for? And how much do we pay? Like what percentage?
20% plus cleaning. So the cleaning fee is passed through, and then we pay 20% for management. So it works out to be probably like 30% with everything.
Okay. So I think for like, this is like a very good month because it's summer pool, for June, or was it May or June? How much did we get?
June will make 13,000 gross with cleaning fees and everything. That's like top line. And then obviously you take away your mortgage and all your mortgage fees, insurance, taxes, and then management and utilities. So I bet we cash flow this month about $7,000
$6,000 or $7,000. Yeah. Which is a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
But I do think we need to like, I think after like, with the heater, with the pool, I think it malfunctioned. So figuring out a really good system with our pool, getting on the same page as our management company, And we do still need to have someone come out and like do some repairs that we can't, like build a fence on one side of the pool. And what else? Oh, build shade over the
for
pool.
The pool is just like right out there. And when it's 104 degrees, even when you're in the pool and it's not 104 degrees in the water, it's still so hot. So
yeah. And fixing the that door in the bathroom. So those are the three things we still need to get done.
Yeah.
So hopefully by August 19th, we'll have a way nicer home ready for you guys to go swim and hang out.
Yeah. And the good thing about all of these repairs, so we went up there, we bought the supplies, we paid for any labor with the account of the property. So we had reserves enough to make these repairs and make these improvements. And that's really the goal, right? You want this to be either cash flowing or at least breaking even and not have to come out of pocket. So we have succeeded in that, which is nice.
And our initial investment each was how much? Was it 85?
Each of us paid it.
Or
yeah,
no.
it was 85 each. 85 each. Yeah.
85 each.
Yeah.
And also we bought it for how much again?
$475.
Now, I think even in this market, a little slower market, we could sell it for $700.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So we're up, which is really nice, even with the large renovations, and we've only owned it for 2 years. So that's awesome. The longer we hold it, the more it will return. But it is really nice to be up in such a short amount of time.
And this is all to show you that real estate is not passive. If you are trying to get into real estate and you think it's a hands-off situation, unless you're buying into like a REIT, what is it?
A real estate investment trust. Yeah. REIT. Yeah.
It's not passive.
No.
And for us, why we love it, for me, it's given me so much confidence. I've learned so much just about myself, other skills in my life. It is a creative outlet for me. And also it is an investment. It is, but it is not a passive investment.
Yes.
Yes. But it is so worth it. I love most of my money is invested in real estate.
Yes.
And I think like figuring out your strategy. I talked to someone about this yesterday. They asked, one of the questions that we had out was like, what's your ideal investment property? And honestly, it took me like 3 years to figure that out. And for me personally, I'm not interested in buying something that I wouldn't want to live in or use myself.
Yes.
I truly, when I'm buying an investment, I'm like excited about what I can do with it. We have our commercial space that me and Steph bought a while ago that we're like holding on to. We're renting out to a friend right now who has a pho restaurant, but like we're like so excited about the possibilities we could do one day. We were like, we could build pickleball courts out there, and like the possibility of doing more with your property. Even with the retreat house, we're like, we could again, pickleball. I'm like, are we obsessed?
I know.
Pickleball, we could build bathrooms underneath the house. So if we just wanted to rent the pool out and have like a little cabana out there, and then we could, and it took me a while of like, I bought, distressed properties with my friend that in like San Antonio and renovated and rented out, and like had kind of bought just like pure investment with no, me barely being involved or like caring about it. And that is just not my investment strategy. That makes me excited and gets me motivated to like go out there and like fix it up. If this, this retreat house, I honestly had fun when we were doing it, because it's nice to get your hands dirty sometimes, and we know that like we're going to benefit from it, guests are going to benefit from it, and like you feel a sense of pride, and it's nice.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the life enhancement, like the idea of saying I need a time away from my own house, so I'm going to go up there for the weekend, or I'm going to host 4th of July there, or I'm going to have this available for friends who need it for bachelorette parties or whatever. It just feels really good. And that is 100% worth it to me, to have, a little bit extra things on my plate or a little bit of headache here and there, to have something that makes my life better. So that's our kind of style of investing.
Yeah. So if that resonates with you, hopefully we'll see you August 19th at the retreat house.
Yes.
Take a tour yourself, go swim in the pool that will not be 102 degrees.
Yes. And this I don't know if we said the location, but it's in Valente, really close to Miraval. And
yes.
And there's like, it's kind of one of those, it's one of those little arrowhead peninsulas into the lake, into Lake
Yes.
Travis. So
Yes, we're not on the lake,
no.
but we are very close. If you walk around our neighborhood, other people are, but
Yes. Yeah.
not
You
us,
can
but we
see
are
it.
very close.
You can see it from our house, but you cannot get to it. That's why we decided not to
Yes.
call it Lake House, because it is deceiving. We're a
Yes.
retreat house.
And we'll post the link of our place on the podcast show notes. Do not judge it. We are being upfront. Like, some of the reviews are not good, but those are we're making big drastic changes so that those reviews turn around. And
Yeah.
honestly, we want to be transparent about our mistakes as well. So hopefully you learn from our mistakes.
Yes. All right. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye.